I once read about a girl named Juliet. She said, "What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet." Unless it's really a tomato. That's a good tomato. Hey, Andrew here with another episode of Let's Do This. Today we're going to be taking tomatoes and turning them into roses. Our goal is to end up with something that looks a little bit like this. It's a small garnish that goes well with any plate, and it gives the impression that we actually know how to cook. What do we need to make this thing? First and foremost, we're going to need a tomato. Remove anything that's attached to it, wash it, and then dry it off. Next, we'll need something sharp. We could use a paring knife, but instead we'll use our handy dandy all-purpose cut all the things chef's knife. Now we're ready to begin. Start slicing the bottom of the tomato and keep going until we're almost at the end. Before we cut it cleanly off though, instead we'll want to go directly into peeling the rest of the tomato. This bottom part is going to act as a pedestal for the rose later on. At this point we should make sure to stay safe and not cut ourselves. In fact, it probably would have been a better idea to use the paring knife, but oh well. Could be worse. Let's speed this up a little bit. It's time for a drink. Anyway, back to the peeling process. Now that we're almost at the end, we can slice the end cleanly off and just put everything down. At this point, we don't really need anything except for the tomato peel itself, so we can just put everything else aside. Unless, of course, we're hungry, in which case we're welcome to eat the tomato. Do not eat the tomato peel though, because that would sort of screw us over for the rest of this thing. Unravel any twists and turns that might be in the tomato peel. Then, take the end and fold it over onto itself. This will give us a good starting point for rolling up the rest of the peel. From here on out, it's a winding motion that's similar to the exact opposite of eating a fruit by the foot. This bit's a little bit trickier, so we won't speed it up, but it is time for a drink. This is where all those martial arts oxymorons can come into play. Be firm, yet gentle. Be spontaneous, yet go with the flow. Once we're done, take the rolled up peel and place it on the bottom that we sliced earlier. The bottom gives the rose support both structurally and aesthetically. At this point, tighten up any loose bits and finagle the rose a little bit to make it look nice. Voila! Check it out! We're now the proud owner of one fine rose. Taking a closer look, we can see how the rolled up peel forms the different petals of the rose. It's simple, elegant, and effective. That concludes this episode of Let's Do This. Let the rest of the world know how your tomato rose experience was by leaving a comment below. As always, if there's anything that can make this episode or future episodes awesomer, comment away. And finally, remember to spread the awesomeness by sharing it with your family, friends, pets, coworkers, and random strangers on the street. Until next time, be awesomer.